it could be the end for the Democrats. You're watching it happen in real time. Because once he goes in on this thing, he doesn't come out. He figured it out. He knows exactly how, when you guys bring it up, it's always going to go back to the Democrats every single time. And pretty soon you're just going to say, why did we do this?
Gutfeld torches Jessica Tarlov over the reality of the Democrats and the Epstein files. His facts hit so hard that she can't even spin her way out of this.
Again, this is Russia, Ukraine, everything.
I don't think this is the end of John. I am not.
Nobody thinks it's the end of Donald Trump. It could be the end for the Democrats. You're watching it happen in real time. I love how you say, you know, you look at it, Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, it's just a fundraising email. As if it were a Republican, your party, the media would not interpret it in the worst light. For example,
Gutfeld is dead on. For example, The View.
I think we're going to hear something.
Isn't it obvious that that Trump was involved with Epstein? I mean, there are more pictures of him with Epstein than pictures of Kim Kardashian of herself.
Yes.
Right. But listen,
how many more things do we have to see before people believe that he was involved with Epstein?
But they haven't said anything about Hakeem Jeffries soliciting donations from Epstein after he was already criminally charged by Trump's DOJ. But that didn't stop him. I guess it's like how Stacey Plaskett said.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that point? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes. And as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can.
So she'll get information wherever she can, and he'll solicit donations from wherever he can. It's not only disgusting, but it just goes to show how hypocritical these people are. And honestly, I'm not even surprised at this point. But let's hear Greg's examples.
For example, it's amazing how the brilliant Jasmine Crockett thinks there's only one Jeffrey Epstein, and that one Jeffrey Epstein somehow gave money to Lee Zeldin. No, I know this is hard to believe. There is more than one Jeffrey Epstein. Just as if there are more than one Jesse Waters, but only one Greg Gutfeld. He was a doctor who gave money, but she knew that, unless you think she is retarded. And I don't think she is. I just think she's deliberately pretended that she didn't know there might be another one.
Right. Because according to her, she said a Jeffrey Epstein.
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people.
Right. Of course she wasn't trying to mislead people. So what exactly was she trying to do then? What other purpose would one have to bring up those names at that specific time and that specific manner?
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly: Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review.
Could it possibly be to mislead people?
So when I talk about, this is what I say is the big worry about this thing, and I'm for the release of them. You look at how these idiots are going to try to interpret everything in the worst possible way. So if you're caught in that net and your name is Jeffrey Epstein or your name is Jesse Waters, something that could be easily checked out. I'm not saying you're in the files. I'm just saying there's a high likelihood you will be. They will be extremely malicious in their interpretations.
Extremely malicious is an understatement. But Greg is right. And what Jasmine Crockett did by bringing up Lee Zeldin's name for taking donations from a Dr. Epstein, I believe was malicious indeed. She knew exactly what she was doing.
So we have to be on our toes. I do think that, what's his name, Galloway? He's right. Be careful what you wish for, because when something seems too easy, it's a trap. And I think you just handed Trump a paintball gun, and you put targets on the Democrats because Epstein, I think 80 to 90% of his donations were all to Democrats. Epstein despised Trump. He was the only elite that wouldn't play ball with him. So, and then you look at like Larry Summers.
Larry Summers actually stepped down from teaching at Harvard and from a few different boards, expressing his quote unquote shame for his involvement with Epstein.
Some of you will have seen my statement of regret, expressing my shame with respect to what I did in communication with Mr. Epstein, and that I've said that I'm going to step back from public activities, but for a time, but I think it's very important to fulfill my teaching obligations.
Look at the, what is the billionaire? I can't remember. Reid Hoffman. You look at Bill Clinton. You look at Hakeem. You look at the Virgin Island lady. It's only begun, and it looks bad for you guys.
Oh, yes, Bill Clinton. Which reminds me of this clip I saw. Here's some food for thought.
Why do you think Epstein had that giant painting of Bill Clinton in a dress in his foyer? That painting is like, I got you, bitch. That's what that is.
Oh, right.
You got a president who was on the flight logs 26 times with Epstein, and you got that guy in a fucking dress in your house.
Okay, I'm dumb. That is terrifying.
That's terrifying. Imagine if I knew some horrible, dark secrets about you, and you came over my house, and I have a giant painting of you right when you walk into the front door.
Yeah.
Of you in a dress.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, buddy.
Hi, welcome.
Yeah.
You're right.
How fucking terrifying that would be.
That's terrifying.
You know he knows about it. I mean, you walk right in and bam, there's that painting.
And now you kind of control a president.
Holy shit, dude.
Holy shit. It's
that's
crazy.
100% what they were doing.
Yeah, that is scary. And they love to talk about how many times Donald Trump's name was in those emails. Well, why wouldn't they be? If he hated Trump so much and was out to destroy him like everyone else in his party, then why wouldn't he be mentioned in the emails? These people eat, sleep, and breathe Orange Man bad.
I think that this is going to be a fun winter for Trump, because once he goes in on this thing, he doesn't come out. He figured it out. He knows exactly how, when you guys bring it up, it's always going to go back to the Democrats every single time. And pretty soon you're just going to say, why did we do this? This is just like Russian collusion, but it's worse because now it ends with a huge, huge pile of mud all over us. The Russian collusion thing just went away. You guys were lucky.
As much as Jessica always tries to defend the indefensible, I love how she was left literally speechless. She couldn't spin her way out of this one, even if she tried. None of their excuses make any sense, and their only defense is deflection. But Jessica couldn't even do that. I think it's so entertaining to see how so sure these Dems are that Trump is somehow involved just because they see his name in emails. But why aren't they talking about Bill Clinton? What about Jeffries, Plaskett, Schumer, among the many, many more? It's not like they can say they didn't know, because this was after charges were brought against him. They knew, and they were okay with it, and they're still okay with it. But if a Republican had done any of this, oh man, Jessica, the media, and everyone on the left would spin this into oblivion, just like they're doing with Trump. So yeah, once again, Gutfeld nailed it. These files aren't going to bury Trump. They're burying the Dems already. No matter how bad they desperately try to lie, deny, and deflect, they're trying so hard to catch Trump in something, but it turns out that they've caught themselves.